This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
It appears that there is a rise in card fraud in the Bahamas as police identify new trends that have made its way locally to target unlikely Bahamians.
In part 2 of this special report, Card Fraud, Is Your Card Protected? Our Charisma Robinson tells us that nearly $100,000 have been defrauded from 16 victims so far this year.
I know for one, I will not be using an outside ATM machine again.
And just as Joan Love made that declaration last week, police say 16 other people may feel the same way, as they too were together swindled out of nearly $100,000 between the period of January to July.
We know that this is deliberate, that these individuals are organized themselves into little cells, what we would call cells, and what they're doing is they're targeting employees of business establishments that deal with high volume traffic, that like restaurants, service stations, who they can get to give these devices to do the skimming. Once they got the information, once they get the skim information, they would then create these credit cards, fraudulent identification, which they would then give to individuals who we would call mules. These would be individuals who will willingly participate in the scheme by going into the various business establishment that sells the electronic items, we've seen a trend where they were buying a lot of cigarettes and expensive alcohol, stuff that they can turn over quickly into cash.
Police say one perpetrator was able to get away using a card like this one, only difference, that card did not have a credit card number or a name.
Another way you can also tell, what we also recommending that business employees do, is whenever they're processing a credit card transaction and they have any reason to suspect that a card may be fraudulent, compare the last 4 digits on the card that's being presented against the 4 digits on the receipts. You'll find 9 times out of 10 that they will not match, because of the fact that the information on the card is not consistent with what's actually on the magnetic strip.
Police are urging residents to report any unauthorized activities to their credit or debit cards as soon as they know, so that investigators can find and identify patterns. Charisma Robinson, ZNS Network News.
In other news this evening, preparations are going well for the country's 41st Independence celebrations. Director of the Independence celebrations activities, Ian Poitier, says some new features have been added and Bahamians can expect a cultural feast on Independence Day.
Well, he's asking everyone to fly the flag and wear their national colors for National Pride Day, which is tomorrow.
Hopefully a lot of people turn out tomorrow. We have the Governor General and other dignitaries down in Rawson Square. There's a whole day of activities planned. In the evening there's the Tourism Junkanoo Festival happening, so if you come along during the day for National Pride Day, you can stay on well into the evening. On Sunday we have the Beat Retreat. I saw that rehearsal yesterday. Fantastic. The police, the Defence Force Band, the prison band, excellent work. Sunday evening we have an event at Colours of the Bahamas for some diplomats and invited guests, and the planning for that is very exciting. That's with the National Youth Choir, the National Youth Orchestra, the Children's Choir, the National Dance School. So there's a lot happening. And then of course the big event on Clifford Park on Wednesday evening.
And with just a few days left to Independence Day, Nassau resident Eric King is doing his part to display his national pride by decorating his 1993 Dodge Spirit with Bahamian flags, photos of our national heroes, Junkanoo pieces, and other native paraphernalia. King says it's all in an effort to show others that he's proud to be Bahamian.
Decoration I use mostly is Bahamian decoration, from the Junkanoo costume with Saxons or Valley, anybody show where I use it. Decorated my car along with a lot of flags. Anything Bahamian, conch shell, anything. I just want the rest of Bahamian them to do the same thing. I feel glad knowing that I out there seeing other cars decorated, patriotic. I just love it.
Is also hoping to spread the message of peace with the peace and love sign on his car, and he's encouraging residents to buy into the theme year-round.
I celebrate around the clock every day, straight through, never stop. People always telling me take them off. I said no, I just love my country. I'll never take them off. All of my vehicles, same way. And I was also promoting peace and love too, because we need that amongst our people too. And I try and encourage that too by riding around with peace and love all over my car. I want other people. I just want to show them, let's come together, stop the fighting and fussing, and just celebrate as one people.
Now to news from the House of Assembly. Members are debating the Jurors Amendment Bill. Member for Parliament for Fort Charlotte, Dr. Andre Rollins, in his contribution, said the judiciary deteriorated under the former administration, noting that, according to an Inter-American Development Bank report, only 5.1% of murder cases ended with convictions between 2005 and 2009. He further added that the IDB noted that from 2007 to 2012, the Bahamas' rule of law percentage rank dropped from 88 to 66%. Dr. Rollins noted that murder convictions have increased under the present government and commended the government for its efforts to speed up the process in the administration of justice.
I give credit to the Honorable Attorney General and the Minister of State for Legal Affairs for promoting efficiencies in the system, ensuring that people receive a right to trial within a reasonable period of time to the maximum extent possible according to what resources they have now. The AG's office statistics reveal that the average time that it takes from arraignment to a voluntary bill of indictment has decreased. The average time to trial has decreased. The guilty rate has increased. The not guilty rate has decreased.
Tall Pines MP Leslie Miller advocated for young adults between the ages of 18 to participate in the administration of justice nationwide, while the Jurors Amendment Bill stipulates that jurors be between 21 and 70 years old. Miller says if 18-year-olds are good enough for politicians to pursue to obtain their votes during election season, they should be allowed to serve on a jury and afforded the chance to exercise their maturity.
Very many of these cases are before the courts. The crimes are committed by young persons, some under the age of 18. And I see no reason why their peers should not be involved in the process of deciding guilt or innocence based on their argument of what is right and wrong, based on the fact that they too are fully aware of what goes on in our society on a daily basis.
Meanwhile, East Grand Bahama MP Peter Turnquest criticizing the Jurors Amendment Bill as nothing but window dressing that he says does nothing to address the core issues affecting the judiciary or the issues of crime during debate on the bill Wednesday evening. Mr. Turnquest says while he's hopeful that salient aspects of the bill will assist in the swift justice initiative, what is needed is a total reform of the entire judicial system. Mr. Turnquest also called a clause in the bill that makes the blind and deaf ineligible for the jury pool discriminatory, noting that we cannot allow a law that discriminates against any Bahamians.
We have to get serious and real with what we're doing. Dramatic and sustained action is necessary, aimed at the root causes of crime, not window dressing. The Minister's Shock Treatment Program is a worthwhile program, for instance, and I am pleased that he saw the wisdom in abandoning the very questionable idea of overnight stays in jail for those already stressed and traumatized children. I applaud the efforts to expose those children to positive role models and career opportunities. These persons can and do make valuable contributions and should not be automatically discounted as having no use in the administration of justice in this country.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.